So today I'll be reviewing Pokemon Journeys episode 87, the Ice Queen and Glaceon, and in this episode we get introduced to a new trainer, checking off yet another evolution appearance. So the episode starts off with us seeing Regina, who has come to Vermilion City with her family, and her parents talk about how she can finally make friends, which seems to bother her a bit. After that we see Ash, who is joining Goh and Chloe as they go to school, and Ash isn't really happy about it since he already had a whole season about that, but Goh tells him that he's going to tell everyone how awesome and funny he is. Then in school we see Goh give a presentation about Ash, and Chloe points out that it was more of a comedian act, which is true since Ash and Goh kind of do the wise guy and straight man routine. I also like how Goh talks about how Ash can understand how Pokemon feel, and says that they do it differently since Ash can do it naturally. After that the class is introduced to Regina, and Chloe takes her to the garden to drop off her Glaceon, and as they're walking Chloe tries to make conversation, but Regina isn't responsive. Afterwards we see Regina leave her Glaceon at the garden after seeing it play with Pikachu, Eevee, and the others, and later on we learn that Regina's family came to the city to visit the lab to find out what's going on with her Glaceon. Afterwards, when Regina gets back to the class, everyone starts to ask her questions, making her nervous, and that's when Glaceon comes rushing in and freezes the class. And while that happens, Regina starts to think back to the bullying she used to go through because she looked like the Ice Queen in a storybook. Then Pikachu and Eevee free everyone, and Regina apologizes for freezing them, and Ash and Chloe forgive her along with Goh. After that we see her parents talk to Professor Cerise about Glaceon, and they say it has enormous power and freezes anything it dislikes, which is why Regina can't make friends and has been forced to transfer. So they want him to examine Glaceon since they aren't sure if they can stay together, since they believe that Glaceon is keeping her alone. Later on we see that all the background characters, aka the classmates, are looking at Regina with contempt, so she leaves to eat lunch alone and declines Chloe's offer to eat together, saying that Glaceon is her only friend. Then she goes to meet with the teacher, and while that's happening, Ash, Goh, and Chloe break in and ask the teacher not to kick her out of school, but the teacher says that was never going to happen. Then Regina sends out Glaceon and almost attacks Chloe, but Regina tells it to stop, which leads to it collapsing, and when they take it to the professor they learn that its body temperature is too low because it's using too much power and can't control its body heat, which may lead to its demise. Then she talks about how Glaceon always came to her rescue when she was being bullied, and that she just hid behind it. Then her parents walk in and learn the truth about Glaceon, and they hug it out. Then Regina says that she'll get stronger so that she can protect it. Then she thanks Ash, Goh, and Chloe, and the next day she says sorry to the class and makes them an ice theme park. Then we transition to Chloe getting a gift and a letter from Regina, saying that she's into Pokemon battles now and that she'll visit during the school break, meaning we could see her in the future. And the episode ends with Ash and Goh talking about battling her, and the narrator talking about how Chloe wants to be as close with Eevee as Regina is with Glaceon, and that pretty much wraps up the episode. So nothing major happened in this episode. We got another evolution, which checked off the list for what Chloe's Eevee won't evolve into. When it comes to the actual plot and story, I think they did a really good job with Chloe, since like in most Chloe episodes we got to see her interacting with a new character. And whenever this happens, we always get another facet of her character, or she's shown to have grown in some way. In this episode, I like how we saw Chloe being the one to initiate the conversations with Regina, and was offering her help while also calling her a friend, which shows great character development on her side, since when Chloe was first introduced, she was more of a reserved character, and now we see her going out with Ash and Goh and giving advice and help to others, similar to what Dawn did for her. When it comes to the end of the episode, I thought it was interesting that they brought up Regina battling out of all things. And typically I would just ignore it, but they kind of gave us a lot of telltale signs in the episode, like them saying that Glaceon has enormous power. But I and many others noticed that she kind of matches the silhouette of one of the characters from episode 65. And I joked that it could be her, but chances are it's not unless she's a supreme prodigy who's going to clear all of normal and great class and make it to one of the higher ranks in Ultra Class before she meets Ash again. But like I said, chances are that's not happening because her Glaceon likely isn't that good. Overall, this was a nice episode and I'd give it a 6 out of 10, only because they didn't really give us much from an evolution aspect. Glaceon literally could have been any other ice-type Pokemon and nothing would have changed. With that being said, those are my thoughts on the episode. Thanks for watching and bye.